A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and welcome to week 5 Monday's class. Jazakumullah everyone for arriving early. Now let's start with our Monday's dua. If I may have a student to the mic, please.
In G2 581, please unmute themselves.
Assalamu alaikum G2 581.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, alhamdulillah, and jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with Tawaz and Tasmiyah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
If you can follow after me now. Rabbi shrah li
رب اشرح لي
sadri
صدري
wayassir li
ويسر لي
amri.
أمري.
Very nice. Could you read the translation for me here?
Lord, expand my mind and make my task easy for me.
Very nice. And what does it say just here, just below?
Taha 26 to 27.
Exactly. So what does that mean? Do you know what is?
Surah Taha, verse 26 to 27.
That's exactly correct. Jazakumullah. That was really nicely recited. G2 581. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay. Now let's go on to our etiquettes for today. You should be thinking that you are in a mosque environment and you should have done your wuzu, your ablution. You should be wearing clean clothes and your head should be covered. You should be sitting in a quiet place, and we would really like it if a parent could be present. And make sure to sign in with the correct ID, because in a few minutes you will be placed in the waiting room if you are not signed in with your correct ID. So make sure to rename yourself. If you don't have your ID, make sure to email on this email address, ukquranclass@gmail.com, and inshallah you will be provided with your correct ID. Now another announcement is there should be an attendance form in the chat. Now the link should be in the chat, and make sure to to click on that link and just fill that form out so we know that you attended. Another announcement, there is a half term, and next week there will be no G2 classes, and we will restart on the 21st of February. So our last class before the half term will be this Friday. Okay, now let's go on and see what the schedule for today is. Today, the rule we will be covering is Madde Asli, or Alif Mad. It's also called Alif Mad. The practice text we will be covering is 90 verse 1 to 11, and we will be learning about the letter of the day, which is Ta, and then again we can go on to our practice text before we can consolidate and finish. Right now, if you can just bear with me 1 second, and I can pull up our rule. All right. Okay, so our rule is normal elongation. Okay, as the name suggests, it's got something to do with making something long. Right, so there is mad. Mad in Arabic means to lengthen or to prolong. So make something long. There are 3 letters of mad known as huruful mad, so letters of elongation. Huruful, letter, and mad of elongation. or letters of prolongation. Now, the first one is alif, which we will be learning today. The second one is waw, and the third one is ya. Okay. Haruful mad causes prolonging of sounds when they come after certain strokes. So you will be learning after which strokes you will have to prolong when there is a haruful mad. Okay, so these three letters, you make them longer if you have certain strokes, and you will learn what strokes today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. So alif. This is a fatha, which sits on top of a letter. Now, a normal fatha is always prolonged for one count or 1 second. This is a simple alif. It does not carry any stroke. When a stroke or fatha is followed by an alif, it will be called alif mad. Okay? So here, the count will be 1 second or 1 count, and there, the count will be 2 seconds or 2 counts. So just imagine an alif there. This alif should really be up there. So if this alif is up there and there is a fatha before it, preceding it, then the letter will be prolonged for 2 seconds or 2 counts. We will, in a second, do an example, and you can see. So alif mad causes the sound to prolong 2 counts or 2 seconds. So make the sound longer for 2 seconds. Now here is lam with the fatha. We will prolong it for 1 count, just la, la. Now see the lam with the fatha, and it has an alif just after it. Now we just learned this rule is alif mad, and we will prolong the lam for 2 seconds now, or 2 counts. La, la. Here again, there is a ta with the fatha, and it will be prolonged just for 1 count. Ta. Now, ta, after the ta with the fatha, there is a blank alif. Make sure it's a blank alif. The alif does not carry any other strokes, okay? Then the ta will be prolonged for 2 seconds or 2 counts. Ta, ta. Okay, now that was our elongation. And if you just bear with me 1 second, I can switch back. Okay, now we will be practicing our text today, and I will be making sure that we find our alif mad in the text, so we can go through the rules again. Okay, so today the practice text is Surah Al-Balad, and it is a Meccan surah, which means it was revealed in Mecca. It's in part 30, and its chapter number is 90 out of 114, which is the total number of chapters in the Holy Quran. It has 21 verses, and remember the total number of verses in the Holy Quran are 6,348. It has 2 rukus, and the total number of the rukus in the Holy Quran are 558. The order of revelation was 35. Okay, and we can go on to our practice text, and if I could have a student to the mic, please.
Can G2726 please unmute themselves?
Assalamu alaikum, G2672. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Let's move on.
Can G2739 please unmute themselves?
Assalamu alaikum G2739. Assalamu alaikum G2739.
Should I move on to the next one?
May I just ask, could you just see my slide just before? Because in the chat, some of the students couldn't see the slides. So could you see the slides before?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Should I move on to the next one?
Yes, please.
Can G2725 please unmute themselves?
Assalamu alaikum G2725.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Right. Let's start with thousand tasmiyah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very nice. Now we will start from here, from the beginning. And can you see in this first verse, can you see alif mad anyway? The rule of alif mad, which we just covered.
Yes.
Okay, where is it?
The alif with the dhamma on top.
Alif with the zamma on top. This here?
Yeah.
Okay, remember the alif, sorry, the alif has to be blank, and before the letter before the alif, there has to be a fatha on top of it.
Okay.
Just like here. So a blank alif meaning, a blank alif meaning that there is no stroke on top of alif. So there is no stroke on top of the alif. The lam before that has a fatha, and it has a madde saghir. Okay, the medium long. So here the rule will be alif mad, which means the lam has to be prolonged for 2 seconds, but because it has the madde saghir, you can prolong it for a little bit longer, so 2, 3, 4 seconds. Okay, so remember the alif mad rule is when there is a blank alif, and just you have to look before the blank alif, is there a letter carrying a fatha? Then yes, then it's a alif mad rule. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So if I read and you can recite, and you can recite after me. La uqsimu.
La uqsimu
Bihadhal
bihadhal
balad.
balad.
Very nice. Okay. Now here, can you see any alif mad rules in this verse?
Yes.
Okay, where?
Before the lam with the sakin.
This one?
Yeah. 2 alifs.
Yes, you are correct. So there is an alif, and there is a dal before the alif, and then the dal carries a fatha. So yes, this is a check. But if we would stop here, then we would read it as alif mad. But because the dal, it carries on to join the lam.
Yeah.
So we can't really use this rule because we won't be prolonging the dal now. We will just be joining on to the lam here. Okay.
Okay.
But you are correct. If dal would not join to the lam, this will be an alif mad rule. Well done. Okay. So do you want to try and recite this verse?
Yes. Wa anta hillun bihadzal balad.
Balad. Yes. So can you see this little meme here? This little.
Yeah.
So what do we do? Do you know what we do?
We join the lam with mushadda lam with the meme.
Exactly. Try and do that.
Tahillam.
It's the inverted zamma.
Tahillum.
Well done. That's it. Okay. So you read it really nicely and correctly. The meme cannot be seen really it's very small here in this case. So
Yeah.
that's why you probably missed it. Make sure when you read this ha, you try to read it from your throat. Hillum. Try again.
Hillu.
Hillum.
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 That's it. I could hear it now. Okay, if you can recite after me. Wa anta
Wa anta
hillum
hillum
bihadhal
bihadhal
balad.
balad.
Very nice. Now let's recite another verse. From here to there, can you see the rule of alif mad?
Yes.
Okay, which one?
Before the lam with the kasra.
This lam here?
Yeah.
Yes. So why is this a alif mad rule?
Because it has no, because it is not a vowel letter, and
Yes.
the wa before it has a fatha on top.
Exactly. So that's the two things you need to check. So alif is blank and the letter before it has a fatha. Exactly.
Okay.
Well done.
Yeah.
Now do you want to, I can actually see another one. Can you see another one?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Before the wa with the fatha on top.
This one here.
Yeah.
And the reason.
It's an alif,
Yes.
and there is a meme with a fatha on top before it.
Exactly. So alif is blank and before it the meme is a carries a fatha. Well done. Very nice. Now do you want to try and recite this verse?
Yes. Wa walidan wa walidin wa walidim wa ma walad.
Walad. Very nice. Now with the meme, you know how long do you have to prolong it for?
2 counts.
2 counts. Yes, you did prolong it for a little bit, but just a little tiny bit longer. Even and also this vowel. So this vowel you did actually do it correctly. Now when you join on the din to the wa, make sure there is a nasal sound. Din wa.
Din wa.
That's it. And okay, now if you can recite after me. Wa walidin wa
Wa walidin wa
ma walad.
ma walad.
Very nice. That was very nicely recited, G2725, and very nicely explained. The rule was really nicely explained by you. Jazakumullah. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. And
Yeah.
can my brother read?
Yes. What's his ID, please?
G2726.
G2726. Yes. Assalamu alaikum, G2726. Assalamu alaikum. I think G2726 has to be unmuted. Assalamu alaikum, G2726.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay.
I can't read. I can't see the screen.
You cannot see the screen. Okay. Support teacher, can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so it may be something with the device. If you can share your sister's device then.
I don't know where it is.
Okay, so shall we call you after a few minutes then? See if you can see the screen then, because we have to move on. Without seeing the screen,
Yes.
you won't be able to recite. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. We'll try to call you later, okay?
Okay, Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, let's move on.
Can G2579 please unmute themselves?
Assalamu alaikum, G2579.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well, and jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with Tauz and Tasmiyah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very nice. Okay, we will start from here. Can you tell me if there is an alif maddiya rule or alif mad rule here in this verse?
There's one next to the noon. There's two
Yes.
next to the noon.
Okay, this one,
The one next to it.
this one.
Yeah. There's three alif without strokes.
This alif without strokes. Do you mean this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is one alif here without a stroke, and then we have to work backwards. Is there a letter carrying a fatha? Yes, there is. So this is one. Is there another one?
It's ones before the lam.
This one. Okay, so there is an alif without a stroke, and then working backwards. Is there a letter carrying a fatha? Lam carrying a fatha?
Yeah.
Lam is actually
No.
carrying a sukoon sign. So this is actually a good way to find out if there is one. So just looking for a blank alif and then seeing if the letter before that carries an alif. Now, okay, there is another blank alif, but we don't have a letter before that carrying a fatha sign, a fatha. But there is an alif here, and the letter before the alif carries a fatha. Yeah, but
Yeah.
why do we not use this? Do you know why we can't use this?
Because there's a lam with a sukoon, and you have to connect the noon to the lam.
Exactly, very nicely explained. So the noon has to join on to the lam. So this rule will be ignored. Okay. So this is if you don't have to join the alif mad rule is if you don't have to join the noon to anything else. Okay. Now this is one we have. Right. Do you want to try and recite this verse for me?
Okay. لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد.
Very nice. So you prolong the scene for 2 seconds, which is correct. Just could you recite this for me, this part for me again, please?
Inna.
Are you sure it's an inna? It carries a sukoon sign. Does not have any fatha on top of it.
In.
Well done. Yeah. So insana.
Insana.
Very nice. Okay. So if you can now recite after me. لقد
لقد
خلقنا
خلقنا
الإنسان
الإنسان
في كبد.
في كبد.
Very nice. Okay. Now, could you tell me what kind of letter the qaf is?
A thick letter.
Thick letter. What do you do with with thick letters?
You round your mouth.
Exactly. So you did you did round your mouth a bit, and make sure to read the qaf from your throat as well. Okay. Similarly, there is another thick letter here I can see in this verse. Could you tell me which one it is?
The kha.
The kha. Well done. And it's also a throat letter. Okay. So we had the throat letters a few weeks ago. So it's a throat letter and a thick letter. Now, everyone at home, I would like to recite with me, after me, whenever I recite. And if I ask any question, try to shout out at home the answer of that. Okay, do you want to carry on to the next verse and tell me if there is an alif mad rule?
Okay. أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد.
Very nice. I could hear the ha. You did read it correctly from your throat. Now, could you recite this part for me again, please?
ألن.
Okay, yes, now it's correct. Make sure to not to read the noon when joining alif to the lam. Okay, allan.
Allan.
So could you see an alif mad rule in this verse here? From here to there.
No.
Yes, you're right. There is no alif mad rule in this verse. Okay, just 1 second. I'm just trying to. Okay. Can you repeat after me and everyone at home as well? Ayahsabu
أيحسب
allan
ألن
يقدر عليه
يقدر عليه
أحد.
أحد.
Very nice. Jazakumullah G2579. That was really nicely recited, mashallah. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, now let's carry on to the next student.
And G2506, please unmute themselves.
Assalamu alaikum G2506.
Walaikum salam.
How are you today?
I'm good, alhamdulillah, and you?
I'm very well, alhamdulillah, and jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with thousand tasniya. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very nice. Okay. Now, can you tell me, in this verse, it starts from here and ends here, is there a alif mad rule?
Yes.
Yes. Which one? Where?
There's where the meme is, there's a blank alif.
Yes, well done. So there is a blank alif. Why is this alif mad rule though?
Because there's a blank alif. And the letter next to it is meme, which has a fatha.
Very nice. That was really nicely explained, mashallah. Yes, you're right. So blank alif, and check before that, is there a letter carrying a fatha? Yes, there is. So it's an alif mad rule. Well done. So do you want to try and recite this verse for me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
يقول أهلكت ما لبدا.
Very nice. Well done. That was really nicely recited, mashallah. So when you stopped here, you correctly read bada, just to prolong it tiny bit longer, and we will learn the rules of pausing very soon, and you'll understand. You probably do understand, but you'll understand better why we read it like this, bada. Okay, so if you can repeat after me now. يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا. Very nice. Okay, let's move on to the next verse here. from here to here, can you see an alif mad rule?
No.
No, I can't either. So there is no alif mad rule in this verse then. Okay, could you recite this verse then for me, please?
Sabu an al-lam
Yes.
yarahu ahda
Try this part again.
ahad.
Very nice. That's it. So you prolonged every bit really nicely. I liked the way you prolonged everything because you prolonged the half for about 3 seconds, which was the correct amount of time. Very nice. Okay, now if you can repeat after me and everyone at home as well, please. Yahsabu
Ayahsabu
allam
al-lam
yarahu
yarahu
ahad.
ahad.
Very nice. Jazakumullah G2506. That was really, really nicely recited, mashallah, and explained very nicely as well. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, so we're nearly halfway through. Well, actually, we are halfway through our class now, and we can go on to the letter of the day, which is Ta. Now, the Ta, how do we pronounce it? The sound comes from the tongue, a little back from the tip. It touches the junction between the front upper teeth and the gum. Okay, raise the tongue to make sound thick and heavy. So you can round your mouth a bit as well to make it thick and heavy. To, to. Okay, raise your tongue and round your mouth. So the to does not have any dots, as you can see here. It can join onto the previous letter and it can join onto the next letter, just like here. So when joined or combined, it looks like this. The shape does not change. It's pretty much the same. It just joins onto the next one. When it's at the end or final position, it looks like this. It's exactly the same as the ta on its own, the ta on its own. When it's in the medial position or in the middle of a word, it looks like this. It is just joined onto the previous and the next letter. It is exactly the same though. Similarly, it stays the same when it's in the initial position. The ta is just joined onto the next letter. Otherwise, it stays the same. Okay, so ta is one of the bouncy letters which we've been learning. So you have had some of the bouncy letters before, and ta is one of them. Okay, now we can go on to back to our practice text. Let me just see if there is something else. Yes, so we can go back to our practice text. And if I may have another student to the mic, please.
And G2724, please unmute themselves.
Assalamu alaikum G2724.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah, fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well and jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with thousand tasmiyah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Very nice. So do you remember the rule we have been going through, the alif mad rule? Can you see that rule in this verse?
No.
No, I can't either. You're right. There is no blank alif which has a letter carrying a fatha before it. Okay, so do you want to recite this verse?
Okay. Alam naj'allahu aynayn.
How do you start?
Nine.
Very nice. That was really nicely recited. Well done. Now, can you read this bit for me, please?
Okay. Allah.
Very nice. You did read it really nicely before as well. Just want to see how you pronounce this ayn here. It's pronounced from the middle of your throat. Allah.
Yeah, Allah.
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 That's better. It does require a bit of practice to learn to recite the ayn from the middle of your throat. Similarly here, the aynayn. Okay. So try to practice the ayn. Everything else was really nicely recited. We just try to erase this and then. Okay. Now, can you recite after me? Alam naj'al.
Alam naj'al.
Who. Aynayn.
Aynayn.
Very nice. Okay, now this verse here, from here to there. Can you see alif madrul?
No.
Look again. I can see one. Can you see a blank alif? And preceding the alif, before the alif, there is a letter carrying a fatha. Can you see that?
Yeah. Next to the sa.
That's it. There. So there is a blank alif here. Why is it a alif madrul though? A blank alif does not make it, just the blank alif does not make it the alif madrul. There has to be one more thing.
Yes.
What do we have to do?
We have to pronounce it for 2 counts.
We have to prolong it for 2 counts, correct? But before the alif, there has to be something else to make it an alif mad.
You have to have a vowel before.
Which vowel though?
A fatha.
Fatha, well done. So alif mad, blank alif, and then the letter has to carry a fatha. This is very important, okay? Then the rule will be alif mad, okay? Well done. Now, do you want to, just one second, I will try to erase this, not going for some reason. Okay, could you recite this verse, please?
Okay. وَلِسَانًا وَشَفَتَيْنِ.
Very nice. That was correctly recited. And you did prolong this for 2 seconds. Make sure when joining this noon to the waw, because it's got fathatain here, okay? You have to make a nasal sound. Nawwa.
Nawwa.
Yeah, well done. Okay, if you can recite after me now. Walisanawwa.
وَلِسَانًا
Shafatain.
شَفَتَيْنِ.
Very nice. Okay, let's go on and recite another verse. Just one second. Okay, can you see a fatha? Sorry, can you see an alif mad rule here in this verse?
No.
Yes, you're right. There is no alif mad rule in this verse. Could you recite this verse, please?
Okay. وهديناه النجدين.
Very nice. The prolongation was perfect of everything. You prolonged this noon for 2 seconds because it has a vertical fatha, and you prolonged this for 2 seconds, which was right, correct. And also this bit, the rule we haven't covered, but you did do it correctly. Jazakumullah, G2724. That was really nicely recited, mashallah. Allah Hafiz.
Could I do the ending dua, please?
I can request the support teacher to call you. Okay. Inshallah.
Okay.
Jazakallah.
Khudafis.
Hafiz. Okay, let's have another student to the mic now.
Can G2 636 please unmute themselves?
Assalamu alaikum, G2636.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. Now let's start with Thousand Tasniya. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Very nice. Okay. Now, we will start from the beginning here again. Can you tell me if there is an alif mad rule?
Yes.
Okay, where is it?
Next to where's zal, but there are alif there.
Yes. So next to the zal, there is a blank alif, and just before the alif, the zal carries a fatha. If you just bear with me 1 second. Okay, but why do we not use it?
Because it's a blank letter, it has no
Yes, you're correct. So the alif has no stroke.
it has no purpose.
Say again, please.
It has no purpose.
It has nothing, no strokes on it. Well done. But because the dal carries on to join onto the lam here, dal, we won't be prolonging the zal, so we won't be using the alif mad rule here. But you're correct. This rule might have applied if we wouldn't join the dal to the lam. Okay, I can see another one though.
In this verse.
Yes, in this verse. Yeah.
Oh, next to the blank alif.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how would you? What do you have to look at when it's an alif mad rule? So you have to go back and see if the letter before it has as a fatha. In this case,
And then you connect it to the sukoon.
Yeah, this one is actually the same alif mad. I can see another one, the different one though. Right at the beginning.
Next to the lam.
Yes, so next to the lam there is an alif here, and why is it an alif mad rule?
Because we don't pronounce it.
We don't pronounce it. The alif does not have any strokes on it. Well done. And there is another thing on the checklist which we have to check. The letter before the alif, the blank alif,
the lam,
it has to carry which stroke?
Fatha.
Fatha, exactly. So blank alif and fatha letter before it. Maftu letter. You could also say maftu letter, which means a letter carrying a fatha. Okay? So a blank alif and the letter before that carrying a fatha. Well done. Okay. Now, do you... Oh, I can't. Just 1 second. I'm just trying to erase this. Okay. Do you want to try and recite this verse for me?
Okay. لا أقسم بهذا البلد.
Very nice. Well done. So you prolong the lam for about 3 to 4 seconds. Well done, because there is a madde saghir, which means a medium long elongation, which has to be prolonged for 3 to 4 seconds. I know there is an alif mad rule, which is 2 seconds, but then if there is also a madde saghir, you have to actually prolong it for 2 to 4 seconds. Okay, well done. Now, could you repeat after me? Recite after me, and everyone at home as well. لا أقسم
لا أقسم
بهذا البلد.
بهذا البلد.
Very nice. Okay. Now, could you recite this verse for me as well, please?
وأنت حل wait وأنت حل بها حلا بها wait no حل بهذا البلد.
Yes, well done. Okay, so this bit is a bit confusing. It is zammatain. Okay, dammatain. But there is on top of it, there is a little tiny meme. Do you know what we do with that?
Oh, hilim.
Zammatain, remember?
Oh, so we put a nasal sound.
Close. So what you do is you join the lam with the zamma to the meme. Hillum.
Hilumi.
You don't say me because there is no kasra. There is just the
Hilumu.
hillum.
Hilumu.
Just imagine there is a sakoon on the meme. So just hillum.
Hilum.
Yes, that's it. Well done. So in this case, I know it's a bit confusing because there is the kasra of the noon on top of it, of the Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So this is the kasra actually for this noon. It's not for our verse here. So it's in this case it's a bit confusing, mixed up a bit. But there is a dhammatain, and on the dhammatain there is a little meme. Okay, so you join the lam with the zamma to the meme. Lum. Okay. Now, if you can repeat after me. Wa anta hillum. G2636. Are you still there? Okay, I will repeat this verse and then we can go on. وَأَنْتَ حِلٌّ بِهَذَا الْبَلَدِ. Okay, if we can have the next student to the mic now.
Sorry, my mic muted.
Okay, can you repeat after me now? وَأَنْتَ
وأنت
حِلٌّ
حلم
حِلٌّ
حلم
بهذا البلد.
بهذا البلد.
Very nice. Okay. Now let's go on and read another verse. Do you want to try and read this verse for me, please?
Okay. ذا لدم ذا ما بلد.
Very nice. So you prolonged the ma for 2 seconds. Why did you do that?
Because it has a alif.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a letter that if
Yeah, we had that rule today. So if there is a blank alif and before the alif there is
if fatah
a letter carrying a fatha, Exactly.
then you have to extend it to 2 counts instead of
Exactly.
1.
Yes. And there was another alif mad rule here. And we have to prolong this vowel for 2 seconds as well. Okay. Now, if you can recite after me. Wa walidin wa
ووالد
ma walad.
ما ولد.
Very nice. That was really nicely recited. G2636 and very nicely explained. Yes.
Excuse me. When I did when I clicked the link for the form, it says I already did it, but I didn't.
Okay. I can note down your ID and I can do your attendance. That's no problem at all. In case
Okay.
you cannot do your attendance, you can just write into the chat that you are trying to click on.
It keeps saying I already did it, but I didn't.
Okay, that's fine. I've noted down your ID and I will write down your attendance. Jazakumullah.
Okay. Okay.
Jazakumullah and Allah Hafiz. Okay, now this brings us to the end of our class and we will now consolidate what we did today. So we learned about Mad Asli and we learned about Alif Mad today. And a reminder is that there has to be a blank alif and the letter before the blank alif has to carry a fatha to prolong it for 2 counts, okay? And we recited chapter 90 verses 1 to 11. And the letter of the day that we covered was Ta. And the homework for today is to practice the rule we have had today in your tilawat, and in our tilawat we have practiced it, and make sure to recognize that rule when you are doing your tilawat at home and practice it. Now make sure your timing, when you prolong it for 2 seconds, the alif mad, make sure it is 2 seconds. Okay. Right, so that brings us to the end and we will finish our class with our end dua. If I may have a student to the mic, please.
And G2724, please. Unmute themselves.
Assalamu alaikum, G2724.
Like
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you too?
Alhamdulillah, Jazakumullah for asking. Let's start with Thousand Tasmiya. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Okay, if you can repeat after me. Waj'alhu
Waja'alhu
li
li
imaman wa
imaman wa
nuran wa
nuran wa
hudan wa
hudan wa
rahmatan.
rahmatan.
Very nice. Could you read the translation for me, please?
And make it for me, the leader, the light, the guardians, and the mercy.
Very nicely recited. Jazakumullah G2724. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, now this brings us to the end of our class today. Now, Jazakumullah for joining in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.